So guys, check this out. I started using BlueSky, and let me tell you something. Sheesh. I don't know why I didn't use it before, but I really like it. As soon as I made my first post, immediately I got a like. On Threads, like I've been creating thousands of posts, no likes. So you tell me, guys. You tell me which platform I should be hanging around more. The one that gives me more likes, or the one that where I get no likes. So guys, obviously I'm gonna be like making more posts on Blue Sky. I really like the platform. It has lists, which is something that I didn't see Threads have. And considering the fact that we are a talent agency and also platform together with my partners, our bloodline runs in gathering those lists of people who would be interested in all sorts of help, and Blue Sky has this functionality. Believe it or not, a stupid simple functionality of um, literally just creating a basic list and getting other people to see any kind of posts associated with that list. So it's kind of like Threads, except with Threads, you don't really have it, like you just kind of post into the void. You don't really have like correct people that you want to be posting towards and positioning your message to entire cohort of people. Instead, it's more like you are picking a subset of people and just posting in there using what appears to be slightly different technique, where you are just using a tag, which is all good and great, except it's not strong enough for us to get the leads just on Threads. Um, and we realized that, and for the longest time I was like, man, why am I not getting a lead? So and then I was like, wait a second, I need to have a stronger positioning. What is stronger? What is the representation of stronger positioning? Well, that's when you can literally target the correct people. Now, some of you will say, well, why don't you use Meta? Why don't you use any other social platforms? But that, guys, like when you deal with any kind of platforms where you pay money, that means like it's all good and great if you have solidified offer, if you have solidified like your brick and mortar type of store where you just like have concrete price tag point. But for many folks out there, they don't necessarily have that offer. They're still trying to figure themselves out and build their business, and they don't really like, they don't want to pay money for any of those ads. And sheesh, I was like that too. I was like, I ain't paying any money for that, for any ads. So what we did instead, we figured out a way for how to do this better for folks who are kind of lazy and don't want to spend any money. They want leads, but they don't want to spend money on it. So I compared combination of different platforms just to see like what is the best option for those kinds of people who don't really want to pay money. But even though I get it, guys, like you're on the edge, you don't want to pay any money because you don't have those concrete offers. But in the back of your mind, I already know that if you had a concrete offer, you would be more likely to pay for something like meta ads or anything that is not organic. But I also recognize that we live in a world of AI, the digital age, where people have infinitely many thoughts throughout the day. So I already kind of, that's why I kind of said goodbye to the traditional model of using ads a long time ago, simply because ads represent sort of like a deli transaction. When you go to the deli, you get handed a little sandwich and you be like, I bet, thank you very much. By the way, guys, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And soon we're about to have Happy New Year. And I know, many of you are super excited and mesmerized by the beautiful energy that I deliver to you in this channel. And you get super excited joining it, knowing that you are not getting overloaded, that your brain is not getting overloaded or cooked, and also knowing that we're simultaneously having lots of fun discussing all of those things, which is my strategy on this YouTube channel. Sometimes I get folks asking me like, what should my strategy be? Like, I'm trying to create a personal brand. I'm trying to create a business brand, and people tell me I need to do a personal brand and a business brand, but I need to decide like which social I need to pick for personal, which social I need to pick for business, and like what should I do? Of course, I get questions like that all the time. Guys, to clarify, look, um, when you create any kind of account, regardless if it's on X, Threads, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, whatever, doesn't matter. Just look at, like, don't try to specific specifically fixate yourself on any sort of strategy. Okay, guys. Some of you be like, yeah, but I want the T, I need to know. Oh, we got hello, we got speed light. Hello. Hey guys, look, I know some of you want strategies, but look, if I tell you one strategy, then you're gonna be like a paper tiger. Like Donald Trump loves to say, call things paper tiger. You're gonna be calling shots and being only stuck like in a one strategy, and then you're gonna get cooked, and then I'm gonna be again saving you, trying to help you get uncooked, and it's gonna be too late because you're running into AI psychosis, falling to social media addiction. So instead of me giving you the strategy, instead I sprinkle multiple little strategies in a mix and give you like all those little strategies that you could deploy at any given moment, remembering workshops like this. But the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want you to fall into trouble. I see a lot of folks that listen to lots of YouTube gurus, listening to every single thing and taking it to the level where next thing you know, they don't even recognize their own selves or what they're doing or why they're doing things. They just were told that they need to post consistently or do any of those things, and none of that stuff works, guys. Like, I tried everything, none of that works. What works, and I'm going to tell you exactly what works, guys, is when you build a business. That's when you have infinite T, guys. That's what works. And out of a sudden, those strategies, they just come together. Like, literally today I went ahead and I created a BlueSky account, and I was like, you know what, I'm sitting inside of Freedom Fusion System CRM. And of course, if you guys don't know what that is, but it's basically the T that makes it easily for you, like make it super easy for you to fly like an eagle across multiple social platforms, drop the hell out of all of those platforms with all sorts of content, strategic content, all centralized in one shot with content distribution mechanisms baked into it. So this way you don't have to be like a process prisoner trying to like manually post your threads to people or explaining what they are. None of that. Freedom Fusion System CRM literally takes care of you, but takes care of all that for you. And that's what I've been using. So I log into Freedom Fusion System CRM today, and I'm like, there's a new feature, BlueSky, and like obviously they edit threads, which I immediately went ahead and I connected to right away, because before I was using different types of automations, and it's not the same when you're decentralized and using some automations outside of the system, which is all good and great. You get a lot of powerful like impact if you use some of those automations, but whenever Freedom Fusion System has new features, I immediately jump into those features right away and start using them for whatever the kind of platforms. So BlueSky definitely was one of those platforms. Now here's where the T gets stronger. Here's where the T becomes exponentially stronger, guys. You see, as soon as I jumped into Freedom Fusion System, I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me see what is this BlueSky all about. And I'm like, let me go ahead and create an account real quick. So I created an account with BlueSky, and I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and give it a try. Let me see what BlueSky has to offer that is so different from Threads or any other social platform or YouTube or anything else for that matter. And of course, now, guys, some of you be like, yo, Rome, I'm not interested in listening about any social platforms. I ain't making any money. I need to make money. Like, I don't know what to sell. Why are you telling me all this stuff? I want to make money. I know, guys. I know. I know. But the truth is, guys, look, you're gonna get to the point where you will have lots of offers to offer. You're gonna have so much tea, guys, to sell, and you're gonna need to have like some sort of a way to distribute your content in a way that you are no longer that process prisoner. Now, of course, you could get a bunch of VAs to do that. Of course, you could do that where you get a bunch of people who you pay for on Upwork or any other sites. But you're gonna get cooked so fast, guys. It's not even funny. You're gonna be like, oh my God, I just burned all my money through ineffective strategies. So instead, what we do, we use BlueSky. So BlueSky, guys, it's kind of like, if I had to compare Threads to BlueSky, BlueSky is like positioning your message in front of the right people who you already interacted with. While Threads, it doesn't really have a way to position yourself in front of the people that you already interacted with in a clear, concise manner, like the way BlueSky does. So what I mean by that, guys, look, the thing is, as soon as I logged into BlueSky, as soon as I went ahead and I created my first post and said, hey, my name's Ron Wells, this is my first post. My interests are pets, cats, and dogs, business development, and strategic thinking, and marketing, philosophy, and astro, all sorts of things that you guys already know about. As soon as I did that, and as soon as I posted a little post with a little bear wishing people a Merry Christmas, immediately, guys, I got a like. Now, on Threads, I'd have thousands of threads. I would get no likes, guys. No likes at all, guys. So, like, what is fundamentally different about Threads? How come I'm not getting any likes versus BlueSky? So I was like, wait a second, something ain't right. Something screwed up totally. And then later on, I find out that Threads literally like gatekeeps you. The more you spend time on Threads, it gatekeeps you from additional engagement. The algorithm learn that you're doing this for business. It doesn't really put you in front of the right people that you're supposed to be in front of, and you kind of get cooked, you get roasted, and you don't even realize that until you pivot and jump into another social platform like BlueSky. Now, I'm not saying that that is always the case, but based on my analysis of like all of those philosophers and all of those different types of people who I'm sure you guys took some philosophy classes about Freud and read about sex and all sorts of his like whatever he talked about, guys. It's 100% true. Like whatever those philosophers talk about, like how there's a biased against like if against men, and like if you, oh my God, that's a that's a train, guys. Look, the bottom line is like you got to read some of the philosophers to see how people make decisions based on sex, drugs, and alcohol, guys. Like literally, if you understand those concepts, you're gonna be like, oh my God, you're gonna be using those concepts when uh, when you start promoting your business, and it's going to register in your mind, and you're going to be using those strategies more effectively. Now here's why I'm saying all those things. What I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying these things is because I performed social experiments on different types of on different types of kind of profiles. So on Threads, what I did is I created like a brand profile, and I created a personal profile. And what I did is I hyper focused as a man on women. That's what I did, just to see if Freud was correct about this whole sex thing, about the whole concept of how people make decisions based on sex, and like the most important things are like three things are drugs and alcohol and sex. I tested this whole theory to see how applicable it is across socials, and indeed, I realized that majority of the decisions based on my analysis did come from people based on sex. Now, guys, can you imagine making that social experiment across thousands of threads and figuring this out? So here's what immediately I did next in order to correct the mistake. In order to correct the mistake of not getting any kind of leads because of that, because some of that bias, what I did is we created different profiles. One that shows a woman, a smiling woman, just to prove you guys the point of how messed up that is. And profile of a brand, a profile of a fake woman, and a personal profile. And we tested all of those profiles across threads just to show you guys that whatever those philosophers, scientists been talking about, just to prove it to you guys that this is totally messed up, but it's true. Now, the sooner you recognize that such bias exists, guys, the sooner you're gonna be start getting leads right away, guys. The truth is, guys, look, here's the thing: people don't really want to be like, first of all, when you start creating posts, there's a couple of things that you gotta understand. Irregardless of what platform you use, Threads, Blue Sky, Buy Me Coffee, doesn't matter. And irregardless of sex, drugs, and alcohol, or any of those biases that are baked into emotional responses and psychological responses of the human brain, and irregardless of all that, there's certain mechanical constructs that you have to introduce that will change your entire game completely. Now, like, is this a cap? Is this like, is what I'm saying a cap? Does sex matter? Does any of those drugs and alcohol matter? Like, why do people always like pick that sex, drugs, and alcohol? I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, I need to mix sex, drugs, and alcohol somehow with my brand, even though it has nothing to do with my, like, I'm my theme is pets, cats, and dogs. And I was like, man, but the theme ain't working. No matter what I was doing, nothing was working. As soon as I started mixing sex, drugs, and alcohol, things started to work. Guys, like, there's those certain elements that you're gonna start discovering in your journey that will be giving you hints and clues as you're gonna be building your feudal kingdom. Now, keep in mind, where does the blue sky comes into play? Blue sky allows you to position yourself with specific lists. So how's that different from threads? Guys, on threads, you kind of get cooked. Like, on threads, you gotta use only one tag. When you post, you hopefully it's gonna reach the right people who are looking through that tag, or who are associated with that tag. And but with blue sky, you could indicate individual people who you can target your message, the types of people who you already know who are receptive, like super receptive to your offer. Why? Because you see the likes, you see the follows, you see all those interactions. On threads, you guys, you could fire up all of those. You could create specific lists with those hyper targeted people who you already interacted with or your VAs interacted with, and blast those specific posts right in front of them. Now, you can't do that on threads, guys. On threads, you post, and your post sort of like goes like into the void with hopes of you getting any kind of results. But on blue sky, you can. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be using threads. You should still be using threads, but for slightly different mechanisms, for slightly different levels of exposure. We're using it mostly for content distribution. And of course, at any given time, guys, social platform that can pull the rug under you and literally just leave you loose like a goose. But how do you solve that problem? Well, one of the ways you guys could do that is to use multiple social platforms. The second way is, when you build anything, guys, don't just post and pray. Instead, do this. Build your business, and while you're building, you show exactly what you're showing. For example, let's say you have a system and you'll be like, damn, it's super hard for me to distribute threads to people because I gotta understand like who they are, where they're from, and it just takes forever. Let me go ahead and build a system real quick that's gonna literally engage with people automatically with the bot, send them a thread, then literally message them with a little sound, ding, and be like, yo, did you finish reading that thread? And they'll be like, yeah, I bet, it was fire. And then a little question pops up and says, oh, like, what part interests you the most? And you'll be like, oh, based on the thread, I think I want to collab with you guys. Or no, you know what, I think I still want to browse around, it's not clear. Or no, you know what, I want to become your customer right away, your business owner. So those types of responses help us navigate through some of those high cardinality heterogeneous complexities of the modern digital mind of a person today and the world where we're living in. But like, when we build those kind of systems, those funnels that are interactive, that push people to relevant threads, we record that information, and based on the response back, we recognize the intent and funnel that person to the next stage within a pipeline. Those stages are associated with different types of pipelines based on the roles. So we have 3 roles. We have the freedom founder, we have a feudal lord, and of course a tire kicker, somebody who's just browsing around. We have multiple roles, and you know what? We have multiple pipelines and stages associated with each role on where they fit the most. That's where we funnel them to in a specific stage. So one of the stages could be, for example, person got pre-qualified. Now they're a prime target to join one of our Freedom Fusion Flip workshops. So instead of us educating those people in those workshops for what is what, for how we do things, it becomes more of a sales call. So when people join those workshops, obviously other systems kick in. We have a Zapier automation that kicks in, that records like who joined the workshop, records everything about the workshop, understands the intent of each person, what kind of questions they asked, and further categorizes them and pushes them further into the pipeline, and makes it easier for you to determine who's who and who should we connect with whom. Now, like, our business is simple. We connect freedom founders with feudal lords, but there's different types of freedom founders. Some folks are very good in doing TikTok sniping. Some folks very good in playing video games and showing other people inside of those video games while promoting them. Other folks are very good in building systems. Other folks are good in building all sorts of like content that speaks out to people in a psychological manner with all sorts of tea inside of that content, the copywriters. The bottom line is there's infinite number of people. So how do we take this infinite number of people and verticalize this in a way that is where we could make some money in between? The way we do that is through those specialized cohorts that are tied to a game, sort of like the Running Man game movie that you've seen, the same kind of way. But what we do, we create a game, a social game that includes all the rules for how to promote a specific brand. People join that cohort and they promote that brand. The rules are dictated directly inside of those automations, and they use those automations to help them navigate across multiple socials, in combination with our Freedom Fusion System CRM, and of course in combination with Hypism. Now, Hypism is a social platform that allows 2 parties to come together, both freedom founders and feudal lords. But the orchestration behind what is happening, how people get connected, who should we ask for to sign up, whether or not it makes sense for us to even help those people, or vice versa, like if we're the right fit, if one feudal lord is the right fit for another freedom founder. The foundation behind all of those mechanics and for how everything works is directly baked in Freedom Fusion System CRM, and all of those content distribution strategies that makes it super easy to get in front of the right leads at the right time. So guys, look, my friend is difficult drive and call. It's difficult drive and call. Horizon. You know, guys, you know what? Right now we're not driving, we are vibing. We are vibing, guys. We're vibing. And guess what? Many of you are probably, probably wondering, well, it's Christmas. Like, what are we talking about? Sheesh. Guys, look, we're talking about BlueSky. And of course, if you guys haven't seen the latest functionality on YouTube, where you could do premiere feature when you go live, go ahead and give it a shot, and give it a try, and see what that looks like. I did publish a thread as well that breaks it all down. Complete tea, incredible tea. If you drink that tea right now, guys, and understand what the premium feature does on YouTube, premiere feature does on YouTube, sheesh, it's gonna be smooth sailing for you guys. Smooth sailing. Now, some of you be like, yo, I'm totally lost. I don't understand any of those features. I don't understand BlueSky. I don't understand YouTube. I don't understand threads. I don't understand TikTok. Guys, look, you don't need to. Our freedom founders do. If you have a business and you want our cohort of freedom founders to go ahead and promote you across multiple socials, across all of those different platforms where you don't have to know about all those features and all this mumbo jumbo, then all you got to do is send me an email to info@hypism.com and let us know whether you're a freedom founder or a feudal lord. Freedom founder, the service provider; feudal lord, the business owner. And then we'll hook you up, guys. We'll hook you up with the right solution, product, program, or service, or cohort. We no longer do individual based matchmaking of any sort. because we realize this is literally impossible. Instead, what we do is we connect feudal lords with cohort of individuals that are already skillful, that already demonstrated that they're skillful, because when they joined Hypism, they took thread stack, digital power bundle, they learned hybrid skills that are not taught in college, they received a bunch of certificates, they showed statistically that they are good, they understand those skills, and of course the feudal lords love that. And of course, when you start playing games, you start earning feudal share, some of those Hypism coins. Every time you refer a feudal lord and the lead gets converted into sales, you earn more Hypism coins, and you could promote your own feudal kingdom using those coins in our network of sites. It becomes more natural, guys. It becomes more easier for you to graduate yourself from a freedom founder to the feudal lord. So guys, look, I know I'm covering things at 1,000,000 miles an hour. None of this information is going to register just in one workshop, guys. I don't expect it to be registered, but I know it will register one day if you browse around through a few of those workshops. And when you do, you're going to come back to me and be like, oh my God, Rome, I finally started crushing it. And I'll be like, oh my God, I'm going to be like, I bet, let me go ahead and give you some more tea. and the tea gets constructed in the pills of freedom. We got blue pill and we got red pill. Depending on what kind of pill you pop, different result will be, different outcome will happen. So for blue pills, we got theoretical pills, and red pills more practical, and also red pill is like learn and earn opportunity. With red pill, you, after popping a bunch of blue pills, you become relatively smart, so smart that you're gonna be almost ready to pop that red pill. Of course, there's a bunch of back and forth communication that takes place between you and our feudal bots, that gets orchestrated by Freedom Fusion System CRM until you start popping any of those red pills. But red pills are strategically designed pills packaged inside of Notion that include a workshop and specific set of instructions for you to take in order to help the feudal lord earn extra income while unleashing all of your hybrid skills. So guys, look, I know we got William Sigma, and we got we got William Sigma. Guys, I'm super excited that you're here on this beautiful, beautiful day on Christmas. I'm super stoked that you guys finally took that opportunity to, join in and say hi. This is super cool. I love it. And by the way, guys, whatever it is that you see on YouTube, the strategy for other socials is completely different than what you see on YouTube. Like, so when you join those workshops, keep something in mind that whatever it is that you see us do on BlueSky or School or Threads or TikTok or X or Insta, completely different, guys, completely different strategies. Are they congruent? Yes, they're congruent with our brand, with whatever it is what we're doing. But are they different? 100%, guys, 100% they're different. If you guys like thinking like, oh my God, I need to have follow one strategy like on across all socials. No, you don't want to do that ever, guys. You want to have different strategies across different socials. And but of course it has to make sense, it has to be congruent, and it has to be, I don't want to say engaging. I never let people, I never tell people go and just create posts to be engaging posts. Instead I tell people, look, the key is to have the clarity, because one of your socials is gonna show that clarity to the right people, and they're gonna recognize it. But it's only gonna happen when you unleash the ball of energy that gets produced by those freedom founders who play those games, interactive games on Hypism, who are promoting your feudal kingdom and injecting that energy, so this way your posts can have any chance at all. Otherwise, they're just going to sit there and nobody's going to find them, and you're not going to get any leads. And of course, this is a real thing, guys. This is not something I'm making stuff up or anything like this. This is a real thing. I'm sure you guys already discovered that, anytime you try to do something, you'd be like, what the hell? I posted everywhere, I didn't get any leads. Like, man, what the hell? Why I'm not making any money? Guys, look, there's physical forces in play, and there's digital forces in play. You could literally make money without even social media, guys. There's certain techniques that we show you as well. If you conquer system building skills, and literally you could tap into our freedom founders, into one of our cohorts that will promote the hell out of you. So this way you get the leads and don't have to worry about any social media at all. So guys, look, I don't expect you to be like social media gurus or goats or anything like this. What I do expect you is to do is quite opposite. Our mission is to make sure that many moms over 40 and freedom founders and feudal lords don't fall into AI psychosis or social media addiction. So we do the exact opposite. But we understand that many business owners are not like, brick and mortar business owners who have concrete product that they could be like, let me go ahead and sell. And a lot of people are from overseas. They're just trying to make it. They're trying to figure out a path that is most compatible for them. And of course, this is the reason why we created Hypism, to make it easier for folks from overseas develop freedom founder mentality versus just a freelancer mentality, which is a very dangerous mentality, guys. And I'm sure you probably already started realizing why that is. And without even me talking about prices or anything, like, when you go to Upwork or anything like this, I don't even need to talk about it. You already know that you'll be paying an arm and a leg for working with just being on Upwork. And if you're a feudal lord, you already probably experienced the fact that paying on hourly basis just doesn't do things for you anymore. You don't really need anybody to pay somebody for on an hourly basis, because you already learned that it just doesn't work. And of course, it works for people who already have established their offer and their products, and they like brick and mortar and solid businesses. But the true reality is, in the world where we're living in the AI world, that rarely ever happens. So this is the reason why this is why we created Hypism, to make it super easy for you guys to find freedom founders who have that freedom founder mentality, just like the mentality that I had when I went ahead and joined Hypism. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna work for Hypism for 4 weeks straight. I don't need any money. I don't care. I literally did that, and Hypism is like getting bamboozled with all the emails, so many emails coming in. Guys, literally that's what I had to do. No money at all. I didn't care about any money, just for 4 weeks straight working for Hypism. It got to the point where Hypism was like, I want you to be our strategic partner. And I was like, I bet. And now it became like combination of sort of like joint venture type of thing. And it's a beautiful thing, guys, when you can do this. Like, if you're a freelancer and you're doing this on just like for money, that kind of stuff, it no longer becomes valuable for you on a long-term basis. Sure, you may score some coins here and there being a freelancer, but you're getting, like, you have to pay so much money to the middleman in the mix, and it just never worked. It never worked for us. It never worked for majority of people who don't necessarily have well-developed business strategies. Just imagine you are building a business and you'd be like, damn, you know what? I don't have all my ducks in a row. I don't want to pay people money yet. I don't I don't want to do that. Just imagine that. How many, like, now ask yourself, how many people do you know that are like that? And the chances are probably a large number, right? I'm just being reasonable, guys. And so what conclusion can you make out of that? The conclusion is, people don't want to pay any money until they see measurable results. But some people, the problem is, some people can't even understand what the measurable result is, because they don't have a clear offer of any sort. So it becomes a problem. And when it becomes a problem, people become like infinitely looking for answers. And as a result, they run into AI psychosis, social media addiction, and all sorts of other things that don't resonate with the overall population. Guys, so what is the lesson learned from this? The lesson is somewhat obvious. If you wanted to strike a deal with the feudal lord, if you wanted to build your feudal kingdom, if you wanted to grow beyond freelancer mentality, then check out Hypism. Send an email to info@hypism.com. So this way we could hook you up with either the freedom founder or the feudal lord. Now, can you imagine what it's like to serve the feudal lords, to pledge an allegiance to a mission and not be like lost? Can you imagine how powerful this is? versus just being lost and not having any mission and not knowing what to do and not understanding why to build. Like, if you don't have the mission, you're not going to be building anything. You're just going to be infinitely kind of making posts that don't really produce results other than just kind of polluting the digital landscapes and not really seeing the results. And it's gonna catch up, and then you're gonna quickly realize that, oh my God, this is so true. But I want results. I don't want to just be. I don't want it to be just digital dust. And by the time you realize that, many weeks, months, and years will go by, and you'll be stuck if you don't have a mission. But if you join our feudal mission, you get to become unstuck. You get access to thread stack. As soon as you join Hypism, you get access to this discounted access to it. If you want to sign up, you can. If you don't, then it's just going to minimize your chances of striking deals with feudal lords, who will see the certificates, who will see the all sorts of other bells and whistles and reasonings for why they should join, versus like, why should they choose you as the freedom founder. And of course, the way it works is simple, guys. We show our freedom founders in cohort. Feudal lords pick those cohorts based on the score. So if they see that the cohort performed really well, then they will pick that cohort. But they also look at the individual scoring. So if you have no leverage in your individual scoring, if you have no way to do this in a way that makes total sense, then, like, if they see that you have poor score, you didn't get any leads, you didn't get any sales, you didn't do anything specific for them, yeah. Oh, I have already had Christmas. I think I missed that. Nice. Well, guys, look, if you're interested in learning more, DM the word path on my Insta, or send an email to info@hypism.com. And I'll see you guys next time, and take care.